I guess my passion for radio began in elementary school when I went from listening to the radio to setting up a ping pong table in my parents' basement with a record player and a cheap Radio Shack mixer. I think I eventually saved my money up and bought a microphone, and as any good program director will tell you, all you need to be a disc jockey is a microphone and a record player.
Dan Israel began his career professionally in late 1982, working weekends and afternoons while in college at a small AM radio station in Kansas City.
At the time, KCNW was a trailer at the foot of the towers. One day the GM called me into his office. There he told me he wasn't sure I had what it took to make it in radio. Fortunately, a few days later I received a phone call from a gentleman named Butch Barrickman, the then program director for KCMO AM. He offered me a job and I made the switch.
Israel joined the 50,000-watt CBS affiliate as a weekend board operator, covering network programming, including both the Royals and the Chiefs. It was during this time he would be introduced to Kevin Harlan, who was then hosting sports on the weekends. Eventually, Israel's job evolved to a full-time weekday position for Meredith's popular Kansas City morning shows.
Working for Butch on KCMO AM and later for Rich Robin on KCMO FM was a great opportunity for me. It exposed me to so many different facets of our business, from programming to engineering to production and promotion. It was the perfect training ground to learn from two guys that were really passionate about broadcasting.
But it was in 1990 when Israel began his long tenure traveling with the Chiefs radio network. This role would reunite him with Harlan, alongside Bob Gretz, Bill Grigsby, and Hall of Fame quarterback Len Dawson.
Chiefs Radio Network had spent, I think, 30 years on AM when Carl Peterson and Bill Newman decided to put it on FM. I really wanted to use the FM medium to its fullest, but unfortunately this was years before digital codecs would make our lives easier. So doing a large-scale remote broadcast turned out to be a significant challenge.
Throughout the 90s, Israel began to innovate technical aspects of the Chiefs game day broadcast.
The demand for a second channel and for higher quality audio really led to our early adoption of Switch 56, which would later become ISDN. Eventually, ISDN will be used by every team in the league, really every broadcaster on the planet, to get sound from one place to another. But when it was just us and the Cowboys using it, it felt like cutting a path through the dense forest every single week.
Back at Arrowhead Stadium, Bill Grigsby along with the broadcast crew, the old partner Len Dawson and a new old partner, ready to bring you every thrilling play of the 1994 season, Mitch Holders.
Thank you, Bill Grigsby. It was that same Bill Grigsby who was there on Christmas night.
When Mitch Holtis arrived in 1994, we had completed our transition to digital with these immense sound fields, high-dollar shotgun microphones, stereo parabolic dishes, later even adding surround microphones. But each of these became difficult to manage in an itinerant fashion. It was literally every man for himself each week with the RF, and every stadium had a different RF landscape. So that led to discussions in support for the league and NFL Films to coordinate the frequencies at each game, which eventually they embraced and still exists today.
Over the years, Israel's leadership has been instrumental in growing the Chiefs radio network to more than 100 affiliates in 15 states and 45 in the state of Kansas. The Chiefs radio network would become known for its award-winning production and high sonic quality.
It began a half-century ago with the birth of Lamar Hunt's AFL.
Tight ends, handoff, Marcus over the middle.
It's always been about the work, creating the most compelling content and sound possible. I've been very lucky to help shape the sound of every big Chiefs moment since 1990.
And the Chiefs Kingdom has firmly planted its flag on top of football's highest summit. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions of Super Bowl 50.
Mitch's ending call for Super Bowl 54 will certainly outlive me, but it was a moment when you realize the role that each of us play in a historic event. It makes the hard work, the very long hours worth it to know you have an impact on generations to come. I've been very, very fortunate to get to do what I love and to do it at a high level, but doing it beside my crew, some of the most professional people in our business, that's truly made it special. And I think much of my professional success is owed to them. It's a credit to how amazing they are. I couldn't be more blessed.
Congratulations to Dan Israel on his induction into the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame, Class of 2021.